Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. One more day, and that's it for the Salivate Metal Rounds. Yes, as most of you know, for almost 6 years, this particular round has been available for sale, produced by Regency Mint, and sold through QualitySilverBullion.com. This was a round and the first to ever be offered that was centered around a YouTube channel and the community that surrounds it. And when I first made this round, it was sort of a trifecta of different things that it commemorates. You know, it commemorates the metal silver, which has kind of been sort of the glue that kind of kept this community together for so long. Of course, views on silver have changed, and of course, the metal itself has kind of gone down in price. But if you think about it, silver is one of those metals that is fascinating in that, essentially, even at at suppressed prices right now, it is a good way for people to get in while the prices are low to be able to preserve your wealth and learn and understand the value of the metal. And that's kind of what the reason why this round was created, to kind of as a sort of a focus, a staple. You know, it's the cheapest of the precious metals out there for sure, and it's a way that people can accumulate and have that sort of an insurance policy. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why this round was created, and we'll talk about that in a moment. The other reason is the community. And this is something that sort of it's a representation of you, because without you, this channel would be nothing. And that hence the tagline, a multitude of gratitude, and we'll see that here in a moment. And finally, well, you gotta have a name for it. And so Salivate Metal is on the round, and it talks about various different topics that are covered on this channel. And so it's kind of a way to commemorate the community, this channel, and silver, the metal. So this round has really been a challenge in some ways for Quality Silver Bullion and Regency Mint, because it was the first time that they have actually done an ultra thick round in the 1 ounce size, or any size really, I believe. And they're a smaller mint, but they do quality work over there at Regency Mint. But producing these rounds has been somewhat of a challenge, because they have to kind of retool everything in order to fulfill orders. And a lot of those orders that have come in through those years, see, there was no limit on mintage for these. And so they basically were produced, and as orders came in, then they would be fulfilled around their other projects, which were quite numerous. They're actually very busy over there at Regency Mint. So the fulfillment of these orders was a bit frustrating for them, because they had to really go out of their way to make this happen. So I'm very grateful to Regency Mint and Quality Silver Bullion for literally putting up with this project for so long. I mean, almost 6 years. But all good things have got to come to an end, and sales have been lagging a bit. So they were gracious enough to allow for a grace period, so to speak, to where folks that were interested could order until a certain date. And then when all those orders are come in and fulfilled on that date, which is again July the 15th, 2019, well, they can accumulate those orders and get them ready and start production for the final run of the Salivate Metal Round. Now, you see on your screen before you various different things. We're going to talk about the design and the finishes on these, just for those who, because I've got a lot of newer subscribers who may have seen my profile picture, which is a photo of this round, but may not realize that it's something for sale and available. Yes, you can find these on eBay, but you will pay a lot more for them, or somewhat more for them, and people are, even though they're readily available from Quality Silver Bullion. And that's really where you're gonna find the cheapest prices up until the last day, which is the 15th of July, 2019. But these things are what they are are come in two different styles or two different finishes. Number one, and I assume it will still come in a flip, such as you see here with their information, quality silver bullion. There, you can see it. And this is something that is created out of Utah. And here it is itself. This is the bullion grade version. Now, I want to make sure that people understand what it means by bullion grade. In other words, this is a struck piece. You can see it almost still has sort of a frosted appearance to it that is kind of ingrained on the dies. And you saw that in the prior video from a few days ago where you could see the production of it, raw footage of production of this particular round. It's kind of exciting to watch. And you can see the hours and the labor that goes into producing these, but also for the production of the dies as well, which I had funded in order to have these and made, and that's part of where the premiums are tied into it. You know, Quality Silver Bullion, Regency Mint have their premiums, and then I have my premiums, and basically my premiums on these are essentially to kind of recoup the cost of the die production and the like. So that is kind of where it stands. This is the bullion grade round, and you can see it still looks pretty sharp for what it is there, but it has coins, bullion, and commentary, and that is what the channel is about. We talk about coins, we talk about bullion, gold and silver, and commentary. And of course it has the name Salivate Metal, 1 ounce there, fine silver, which is the weight of this coin. But this bullion grade means that it is struck in a manner of form that is closely related to what any other bullion coin would be. It does not mean that this is bullion because it has those premiums tied to it. You would literally be a fool to stack these. And it was never presented as a bullion option out there. It's simply a token, literally, that happens to be made of silver, very thick, ultra thick, which we'll really like here, in a way to kind of represent the three things that I talked about: the channel, the community, and silver. And that's what you see on the reverse. This is the Bohr's diagram of silver there. And it even has the YouTube address there, youtube.com. Salivate Metal / Salivate Metal, and my tagline, which is my appreciation for you guys. These words I don't just say; I do incredibly appreciate this community, and it has grown within this channel, but it has also grown within other channels and other areas too. It's evolved and changed. But there's a lot of great people in this community. For that, I'm very appreciative of all of you. And so that's the bullion grade version, not a bullion coin or round, or not a bullion piece of silver. Then you have the proof-like version. And this, as you can see, is quite polished here in the mirror background fields. But you'll notice that it's called proof-like and not proof. Now, there's a reason for that, because, you see, there's a little bit of imperfections on some of this stuff like that, but it gives them a little bit of leeway in production if there's ever any like dust on the dies or anything like that. It's not to a proof standard, per se, but they do a great job with it, and it is highly polished and highly frosted proof-like version. So it gives the appearance of a proof piece. And there is a little bit more of a premium to it because of the polishing of the dies and, by the way, the polishing of the blanks. And here I've got an actual sample that you saw from the prior video. In that video, you saw these being stamped out and made. And this is the bullion grade a blank there, you can see. And you'll notice that in the striking process, it does create this, this edge, but before it gets to that, it goes through the upsetting process. I know this won't hurt your feelings, folks. That is a process where the rim is raised. It goes through an upsetting mill, and that creates this sort of the edge here. And they didn't show a whole lot of that in the videos. It kind of showed the stamping out, the blanking, and the other processes there. But very fascinating indeed. So there's that. And then they have the highly polished blank here for the proof-like version here. So that is another factor. Now, one other thing I will show you that I think is quite fascinating, and I only have 2 of these, and that were sent to me as samples. This is the copper Salivate Metal round, and it is a single thickness just for test striking. You saw that in the raw footage there of the production of these. This is made of 999 pure copper, but it says silver on it, and it's half as thick. So there's something a little bit new you don't see every day. A copper Salivate metal silver round, even though it's not silver. It says silver on it. So there you have it. So that is kind of the history behind the Salivate metal round. As you know, I had a limited run of the Fortitude round, which was also provided even more challenges. So we sunsetted these as well. These are no longer available for sale, but these were made for a limited time, and I think about 300 of these, I believe, ended up being produced. Now, when I get all the sales done for these, I will definitely give final mintage numbers for all of these. I'd be curious to see how many sell and kind of where things are. And so that's where it stands. So this is available for one more day. And by the way, I was hoping to have a backup with this round. This is made by Intaglio Mint. But unfortunately, they're not selling on their website anymore. So I've got to try to find some dealers who would be interested in carrying these. If any of you guys have any contacts or want to contact somebody at Provident, SD Bullion, JM Bullion, or APMEX to carry these, that will be the only way to get them if they're interested. They may not be, because this is a pretty small channel in the grand scheme of things, and they, who knows how much a demand there would be for these. They've got to keep track of inventories. It would be maybe provide more of a risk than not to produce these. But there you have it. So that is the synopsis, the end of the Salivate metal rounds, the original versions. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. A link to purchase will be in the description of this video if you're interested. And one more day. After that, the only availability of these will be on the secondary market, eBay and the like. And more than likely, you will pay more there than you would from quality silver bullion. So I hope you enjoyed this little kind of a look back over the past 5.5+ years of these rounds in production. Very fascinating indeed. I'm going to actually see if I can get the dies from them too. That'd be kind of cool to have. But I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching, and thanks again for all your support and all of those who have purchased these in the past. This is the last chance if you're interested in such a piece as this. And again, I can't stress enough that these there's no promise of any secondary market increase in price just because these aren't produced anymore. You should consider them as just novelty pieces that happen to be made of silver, and can't expect for them to sell any more than spot if you were going to sell them at a local coin shop or on eBay or wherever. It's nothing more than what it is. It's a silver piece that represents the channel and you guys and the community, and so that's where that stands. But I do hope you enjoy, and I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.